You guys, I had to put on like real clothes today. Like we got jeans on and like some real earrings because the second look that you guys voted on last week. So the Recreate the Look series we started a couple weeks ago. Once a week, you guys vote in Instagram, on Facebook, over on YouTube. Hi! And pick the look of the week. It's been super fun to try like eyeshadow combinations we've done, eyeshadows I haven't used in forever, lip and cheeks. Like I forget about all the things. Thanks, friend. And last week, the looks tied. So I did the one that required me to get the least ready because this one, you guys, has an actual glitter in it. This is LaLa Land. And we're going to do our face real quick. And then we're going to jump into LaLa Land, Sabrina, and Ivy League. So Sabrina has a little bit of a foiled shimmer to it. And Ivy League is a matte buildable green. Then this is Dahlia. And I added some rose gold illuminator. We'll see if we do an illuminator or if we just do this or if we add in. Or I was even thinking maybe we would do Sunshine State over, sorry, it's falling. Sunshine State over Dahlia on the lips because I'm probably just going to do a light version of this. So I don't know. We'll have to play. But this is like our glitters, our glitter chunks. So shimmers tend to be what I think a lot of times we think about in the traditional like eyeshadow world. We're thinking like glitter. But our glitters are like glitter chunks. So you can see like it's glitter pieces. So I have used them on numerous occasions when I'm going like to an event or like for Christmas, you know, like Christmas mass or something where you just want something just like a little touch of pretty, but they're different than what you're used to. However, what's really cool about them is they're buildable. So like you're probably not going to take like an eyeshadow brush, get in there and swipe it all over. It's going to be all over your face. But you could do just little pops or you could build this up into something more. So we'll have to see where this look takes us. But I was like, if we're doing glitter, I got to wear regular clothes. So let's jump in. I did tell you guys yesterday on my live that my makeup would be clean by today, like that I was going to go through and melt all these tins down. Well, turns out that was untrue. So we are still working out of the same palette, and do not throw your tins away when they get down to kind of the end here. You want to put them on a candle warmer or a flat stove top that has warmth on it already. You don't want to cook them. We definitely don't want them boiling. You just want to warm them up enough that they kind of melt in throughout the tin. You can clean them out by getting like a toothpick or, I think I pretty much just use a toothpick. And as you're like swirling them around in the tin, making sure they don't boil or anything like that, I put mine on a candle warmer. Some people put like a hot pan into the oven and warm it up and then put that on the top of their stove top, and just kind of let them melt. It will spread all throughout the tin again, and you'll have the ability to use every single drop of your makeup. Like I still have this one, and I'm going to melt this down too, because there is no waste with this makeup. You know how sometimes like when you have your makeup like bottle, like you have a bottle of foundation, you can't get everything out, where with like a powder, you can typically like get it all out. Well, this is the same. This will all be usable, but it does not look as pretty. It doesn't look as pretty right now. So right now I'm just color correcting. Did I say hello? I'm Sami. I teach this makeup, and like I teach it, not just show it. Like I'm a teacher by trade. It's what I do. It's what I love. It's why I started doing this, because I wanted women to be able to find a makeup routine as their skin changes. And you know, I feel like post babies, your skin is never the same. But then I'll tell you what, post like 35 is when, or maybe 37 is when hormonal acne started for me, and it's been a rough one since then. I will say the last like 6 months has been pretty good. But my point is, it doesn't matter how good or bad of a day my skin is having, like because because I did finally find something that worked with multiple skin tones, I'm not scared anymore. I just went to dinner with my girlfriend the other day, and she is in her 50s, and she was talking about how she is dealing with acne for the first time in her life. And it's hard. Like, if you've never had it, or you had it when you were a kid and it went away and now it's back and it's hormonal and or like cystic and painful, that'll really tear you. That'll really get you. And she said, you know, and it made me happy, because it's kind of the point of like why I'm doing what I'm doing. She was like, you know, before Seint, if I would have had the type of breakouts that I'm having right now, she said I would have been devastated, because I just don't feel great about what my skin looks like when I'm having like an actual breakout. And then as they're healing, sometimes it's really unsightly. She's like, but honest to God, since I got this, I'm fine. Like, yes, it sucks, but I know that I'll be able to cover it up. That I know that I have something like color-wise in my palette that isn't going to make me have to like slather a heavy double wear foundation all over my face and just emphasize the texture of the acne. She's like, people wouldn't even really know. And I'm like, see, that makes my heart happy. That was like a secondary thing for me. I didn't even start using Seint. Like, my acne didn't get really bad until maybe a year after I started using it, maybe a year and a half. And then I started using it because of the redness and sunspots and all of that. But I'm 100% in the same boat as her. Like, it was a happy byproduct of like, oh, thank goodness I have something that, I don't know, I feel like my other option, because I tried, when you get acne, if you feel uncomfortable, you will try anything. So you know this to be true. Powder, thanks, but you don't do anything, right? Like, not totally unexpected there, right? But I tried a lot of different things because I wanted to be able to get coverage, but I still wanted to look like myself. And I can't do a heavy face of makeup. It's not my jam. And it's fine for people who can. And like, when I wear full coverage hair, I don't feel like it's the same feeling as wearing a heavy foundation. And not all are heavy, obviously. There are some that are much lighter, but I don't find them to give nearly as good of, the coverage is fine, but the issue is the texture after it dries down. It's just not ideal. So I was happy to hear that she was having, I don't know, that sort of experience, because I have been there and it's no fun having an acne breakout at 40 or 35 or 55. I mean, acne's not fun at any stage of the game. But this is what I found interesting, because I was thinking about it, because when it happens, you're like, why me? Why am I the only person at 40 years old that's dealing with acne? Because you know, when you're a kid and it's like mortifying, right? Like, you get a single pimple and it's like, let alone, you know, dealing with teenage acne. But like, a lot of people are, right? So while I feel like kids are cruel and that sucks in and of itself, in general, like, you know you're not alone, because everybody's got it in some way. Like, I was definitely one of the anomalies where it was, I mean, I was not acne free. I was not pimple free, but I would never say that I had like any sort of consistent acne breakouts. So I was like, whew, dodge that bullet, right? Wrong. Now I do. But I guess my point is, I feel a heck of a lot less alone now that I'm paying a little bit more attention. And I'm only paying more attention because people are telling me or asking me like, hey, give me a demi corrector or two to cover this acne. Or, hey, should I change up my technique if I'm having a breakout? Or, you know, this has never happened to me before. Any thoughts? Which brings me to my next thought. I feel very thoughtful right now, right? If all these people our age are experiencing it, why do we feel like it's just us? So then what that made me think was, I'm too hard on myself. and you're too hard on yourself. Turns out, post kids, perimenopausal, I'm sure menopausal, like this is kind of the norm, not the outlier. And I'm sure there are varying degrees to which we are all dealing with it. But if I'm dealing with it and one of my friends is dealing with it and one of my other friends, sends me a message like, hey, I got a little red nugget on the face. What do I do? Like, maybe we're not. Maybe it's not just me. Maybe it's just part of the joy of aging. And listen, I don't mind aging in general. Like, I was thrilled to turn 40. I thought it was great. But I could do without some of the pieces feeling like they're falling apart. Okay, so guys, there's our basics. Light-handed. I did a color corrector to get rid of darkness under the eyes, redness on the cheeks, sunspot, acne scarring on a light level. Did a little bit of all over foundation, just dabbed it on. Contour around the perimeter of the face to shadow. I want you to think of when you buy Spanx, you're like, right? We want to pull it all, we want to suck it in and pull it up. That is what contour is for your face. Same dealio. Since everything is coming down, your contour is going to falsely pull it back up. And that's why you should learn contour. Don't be scared of it. You can be very, very light-handed with it. It doesn't have to be dramatic, and it will make a difference. And then we have a little bit of brightener, which you're used to putting in your traditional concealer places. But here at Seint, we don't conceal. We brighten. And here's why. Typically, you're used to using concealer, large quantities, light under the eye. Like, put it out there, make it bright, smack it right on there. The problem is, light colors on mature skin are going to show texture. Two issues that almost everybody has as they're aging. Your foundation color is too light, your concealer color is way too light, and you're using too much. I have made all of those mistakes, and I am proof that less is more, faux show. And that you want to go a little bit darker than you think you need to if you want to keep your texture to a minimum. And sometimes it looks different. Like, you see yourself and you're like, wow, this is a little bit different. Different isn't bad. As things are changing, remember, you're probably going to have to change what you were doing or what worked before, and that's okay. You can learn with me. That is not, hey babes, that is not the problem. We can make this work. So this is your one palette, Dunzo. I did throw the shades from our look into this guy. And you know what, let me go back. Let me do a little bit of lip liner. Because with a shade like Dahlia, I'm gonna make sure that we have a little bit of liner on the lips. I'm just gonna use my contour. Use as many of your products as you can in multiple ways. And you can do that with any makeup. It's just a little harder to work with like a liquid foundation than it is a cream. All right, so line it up. I think I'm gonna not put any bronzer on because I don't wanna change the color that you see of Dahlia. Keep it true to tone. So the Recreate the Looks are graphics that I've created or that I have found on Pinterest just to put together different ideas to see what inspires people, and because makeup should just be fun. So, I was playing around on Pinterest one day, I saw some different ideas, then I went in and kind of created my own to make things like seasonal. And it's been super fun. Okay. All of our lip and cheeks are buildable. So if you look at a color and you're like, don't worry. You can keep it as light-handed as you want. And think about like, oh, I could wear that light-handed, like that's my Monday through Friday. But if I go out on a Saturday night, I'll build it up to something a little bit more. So this is Dahlia. I mean, she's a great shade for the summer. It's a satin. All right, I'll re-swatch. Okay, so I'll do it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I took a shower and I still have swatches from yesterday's bronzer video. Like they did not come off. Where can we do this so that you can get, we'll switch it up. We'll go down here. So this is Dahlia. And I'm gonna do this light handed swatch here. And then I will build it up more intense so you can see. For women that have darker skin tones, this will also show up because sometimes the shade is too light for women with darker skin tones. This one will. So this is Dahlia Swatched Heavy. It is a satin, so it is matte. It is highly pigmented. This is it swatched lightly. It's what I have on my lips right now with my contour. And maybe we'll build it up a little bit at the end, but we're going to stick with just keeping it light right now. And let's grab, I will grab the, nope. Where's my blush and bronzer brush? Also, if you caught my live yesterday, I told you guys I was going to wash my brushes too. It was a day. Can I ask you a favor? If you have made it this far into the live, I need you to do me a solid. Can you drop in the comments? Like, would you like a daily live? Do you want us to do our makeup together like Monday through Friday or like 3 times a week or like once a week? So drop me a number. Like I will watch and like try and show up for, 5 a week, 3 a week, 1 a week. Because I love doing lives, but the most fun lives are when you guys join me and like, or when you catch it on the replay and like are sending me questions afterwards because you learned a new technique or you like a new thing or whatever it is. And I'm doing lives here. I'm doing lives on Facebook. I'm doing lives on YouTube. And I'm like, whoo, I'm tired. So I need to know where my people are at and what they want to see. And then that is where I will show up, and I will show up as often as you guys like. So like I'm somebody, when I am like into something, I'll watch a live every day. And maybe not the whole thing, like maybe I'll be scrolling or I'll just want to see the eyeshadow look, or if it's a technique I haven't tried, I'm going to watch like the whole thing. At night, I usually when I was working full time, I couldn't do it during the day, but during the pandemic, watched whatever, whenever. But after that, I went back to watching at night, and I loved it. Like I was excited when someone's new YouTube video of the week would come out, or if they had like a routine live schedule, I'd be like, oh, it's a Tuesday. That means so-and-so was live today. And I would go look, and there was their video, and I was super excited. So give me some feedback. Do we want multiple lives a week? Do you want them to be at the same time so that it's predictable? Does that matter to you? Okay, so this is Dahlia, and let me show you a little trick, because this is something that happens to me all the time. Like if my blush is too close to my wrinkles, and that's going to be a matter of like how far down your wrinkles come, and mine come like down into my blush line, I will just take a little bit of main shade brightener. It doesn't matter because we're talking like feather-like. And I will just like kind of press on to that edge to diffuse it. And frankly, you could probably just try with what's left on the brush from like when you applied. If you're using all one brush, I would switch to a different one or make sure you get your blush off for this one. Same thing, like keep it out of your folds here. You can just diffuse that edge, and like I'll flip over and make sure this is my brightener. So this is Dahlia. She's 100% a spring and summer go-to rock star, and I like her. Okay, let's do some Illuminator. I probably should have done my eyes first in this entire thing, because using a glitter, we might. I do not have, NYX has like a glitter glue for the eyes, and I don't have it here with me. I think I lost it sometime when I was on vacation. Hi there, lovely. Hey, go over to the leaders chat for me at some point today. Go check in on the message I put in there yesterday. And let's do Illuminator. So this is Nova. Nova is our newest Illuminator from last summer. And thanks, babes. And she's a summer favorite of mine. I will switch out from rose gold because it's kind of in between rose gold and glow illuminator. So once I get a tan, I'll use this as an illuminator in this area here. But when I don't have a lot of a tan, I'll mix it with Bella bronzer. A little bit on the Cupid's bow. Down the nose, tip of the cheeks. Top. And then go back to my perfector. And do you guys see what I used the perfector for? Because I think I was jibber jabbering, was to remove excess. So I pounced this everywhere that I had layered, particularly like in these areas where I have like a lot of creases on the face, wrinkles, creasing, strong marionette lines, the nasal labial folds, call it what you will. And this removes excess. So this is what keeps it from looking cakey, tacky, or sitting in those fine lines and wrinkles. Now I'm just going to use it. It's also the perfect blending tool. That's why they're called like these beauty blenders. Ours is called the Perfector. And keep in mind, if you have one at home and you're like, I'm not going to get the Perfector, that's cool. But make sure it does the same thing. This removes excess. The density of it is different than like the one that I have for when I was applying liquid. Applying liquid and removing excess cream, not the same dealio. So just make sure that yours has the ability to remove product without pulling it off the face in chunks. And there we go. There's a little bit of Nova on the face. Dahlia, Nova. Let's do some eyes. Okay, so this one's a little bit harder for me because you guys, if you've been here a while, you know I have a hooded eye. So I always start with a mid-tone matte to open up the eye. And I don't really have a mid-tone matte. So I'm going to try lightly to use this one. And we're just going to see how it goes. But when you have a hooded eye and your hood comes down over your lid and you're only left with like this little bit of lid space here, the goal is to open up the eye so that you can actually like create the illusion of a larger eye. One thing I do all the time, do not skip if you have a hooded eye, is if you don't microblade your eyebrows, get them up. So put a brow wax on there, get them pulled up. It'll give you a little bit more lid space. And like, that's what we're looking for when we have a hooded eye, is the most lid space that we can have. That's the easiest trick in the book. Now you want to create a new lid. And this is a very pigmented color. So we're starting really light. And here's how we create a new lid. You're not going to create a new lid. You're going to create a new crease. So typically your crease, you guys, see, well, one, I have all these creasing, but typically your crease is like right here. And when you have a hooded eye and you look forward, your crease is like eaten by the top of your eye. I was chatting with one of my friends. I was like, I talk about hooded eyes all the time. And I'm always like, because people ask me like, why can't I see my color? And I'm like, because your eyelid ate it. Like, that's the problem with a hooded eye, is that dang eyelid just scoops it up, right? So what we want to do if we have a hooded eye, a small eye, a deep set eye, which only leaves us with a little bit of lid space, is create a new crease by, when you're looking forward, get your brush up above the crease that's hidden down here. So don't start with your chin back, because if you do, you're just going to get in the crease. And what's going to happen is when you look forward, you're not going to see it anyways. So you want to tap up above. So go above where we're remember how I said that contour? Yanking it up. We're contouring our eye in the same way. And again, I typically use a shade a little bit lighter than this, but this is what we have to work with. Then I take that same shade to the outer corner. You'll see I just even got more on the brush, so it's already deeper there. And wrinkly eyelids, just pulling up a little bit on the excess skin up here to try and get into. If you don't get into your wrinkles now, you guys, you're gonna have like real creasing. So do what you have to do to manipulate your eyelid. But new crease, windshield wiper, little circle with the same color in the outside corner creates continuity. And then make sure, up, pull it up, yank it up even more than you ever thought you were gonna do. You just want to have a little bit of space underneath your brow, not a lot. And that's how we're gonna create the illusion of a larger eye, so that you can use multiple eyeshadow colors and actually see them. If I stick strictly to my lid and my crease, all I have to work with then is this little sliver right here. Because I got a hooded eye. All right, tappy tap, 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 tap above. Hi, Grandma. Tap, tap. Going windshield, creating that new crease. Now I can tilt my head back just to make sure that it's actually on the rest of my eye itself. I don't want it only on that new crease. Tap, remove excess so it doesn't fall all over your face. Circles. Hey, what's up? Okay, and I did color correct my eyelids, I think. Or maybe I didn't, and I meant to. I feel like I didn't, because you see I still have some purpling. Well, it is what it is. We'll make it work. And there we go. That's our first shade, which is Emerald City. Again, can be worn more sheer or more built up, and it's really pretty. Don't be scared of color. You can concentrate color to certain areas of the face. Like if this scares you, then you can just put it in the outside corner and use something more neutral on the actual like crease itself. All right, now let's brighten up the lid. This is Sabrina, and it's just going to be this pretty champagne gold. It has like a pearl. It's kind of like a champagne-y pearl. It is a foiled shimmer. What I really like about foiled shimmers is they apply nicely. Like with your finger, you can press on as much or as little as you want, and I'm working it, get it into that crease. When you prime your eye, it helps. Like this crease is extra creasy today because I did not prime or color correct my eye. I got distracted. And now I'm just pulling that like kind of onto where I have that green. And I can build it up to be as strong as I want. And this is a really pretty like 2-color eye look. If you just wanted to do something really basic on the lid and pop a little green in the outside corner, this would be easy. The reason I'm using my finger is because anything that's shimmer or foiled, I feel like I get far less fallout when I'm pressing it onto the lid with my finger than when I'm sweeping it with a brush. Because then like as you sweep, whatever's on the bristles just kind of flies off and ends. Thanks. I can take no credit for it. I found this one on Pinterest, baby cakes. So there we go. And I'm going to go back to my brush. Blend, all the blending, you guys. All the blending. Small circles, windshield wiper. This really would be fun alone. I can tell I didn't color correct because do you guys see how that darkness is popping through? This is what happens. If you're ever wondering why your eyeshadow doesn't look the same color in the tin as it does on your lid, it's likely because you have discoloration on your eyelid that you haven't accounted for. So now it looks different because it's not on a neutral surface. So there we go. Sabrina and Emerald City. That's actually really fun. And we could be done there. But we are not. Okay. So time to glitter, you guys. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my balm. Where's my balm? Hold on. I'm in between like 7 palettes right now because I was getting ready to wash stuff out. Okay, here we go. So we have a balm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little balm on my brush and press into the LaLa Land, get the glitter chunks, and we're going to apply them to like the center of the lid. We're going to keep light and bright here, the darkest shade on the outer corner, and we're just going to put our pink glitter right in the middle. And let's see. Try and get a better swatch for you guys. Okay, so this is LaLa Land. The glitters are so fun. They really are. You just have to use them strategically because some of this is gonna fall like right onto my pants because it's more like chunks. So this is like a foiled shimmer and this is more like glittery chunks. And really I could just apply a little bit to the lid right from my finger like that. but I feel like it sticks best. And see, here's the issue with not color correcting your eyelids is this was not the right look to forget to color correct my eyelids. Like my Sabrina isn't covering that great. It's the same with your face. Do you ever put on your makeup and you're like, all right, that looks good, nothing move. And then like an hour later, you're noticing some of your color is popping through? It's because you didn't color correct or didn't color correct the right amount. When you've color corrected, it's gonna last all day. Same thing with your eyeballs. All right, so let's take, I wanna use the flat end of the multitasker, but I don't wanna use this dirty one. So I wonder if my other one is equally as dirty. Let's see here. Maybe I have, oh, here she is. Oh, clean-ish. That is gonna work. We are cleanish. So I'm gonna take, let's do balm first, because if not, then I'm gonna be putting glitter into my balm and I will be wearing pink glitter on my lips forever. So I'm just putting a little bit on the multitasker and then, like pressing to get some on there. Tap off the excess so it's not cray cray. And the balm will help both adhere it, still got some on the face, to the lid. In addition to it sticking to the brush, it will help it stick to the lid. Okay, too much over here. So I'm going to take the other end and I'm going to kind of tap until it disperses. There, now we're more even. And now we have pink and green are two of the most like popular contrasting colors to be used together because they pop off against one another. So if you have green eyes, things in the red, the auburns, the pinks of any color are gonna pop against your actual eye color itself. And there we go. So now we have just our tinge of glitter right in the center to create that pop. I'm gonna go back to my blending brush. And I'm not gonna blend on top of the glitter. I'm gonna blend the areas around it just to make sure that everything kind of melds together really well. Now I'm gonna take the small end and I wanna make sure that the inside corner, this is just my preference, stays light. So I'm adding a little bit of Sabrina and that will also help blend like where the glitter comes in. Try and get in those creases. And here's a trick for you. If you ever feel like your eye is looking closed off, use that Sabrina, Drift, Rome, whatever color it is, like in this portion of the crease right here. And that will help open it and elongate it towards the outside a little bit. Actually didn't feel like my eye was closed off in this one, but I'm like, well, I'm here. Okay, and I'm gonna tap a little bit of Sabrina right there. Oh, glitter chunk. Got it. A little bit of Sabrina right here. And we're gonna go underneath the brow bone. And there we go. So where are we at with our, I mean, this one's different than anything we've done. La La Land is lovely. The pink and the green pop off against one another. For me, it's just not an everyday look, but it's a super cute look. I think if I were to do it over, I would do a completely nude cheek. Like, I think for me, if I'm doing any sort of eye look that's bolder, I prefer that to be like what really stands out is the boldness of my eyeshadow is like the thing. Not that this is like super bright in any way, but I think I would actually keep it even more neutral than this and just focus on the eye itself. All right, where are we at with glitters? I was checking. One of my ladies was asking me about some colors yesterday or the day before. Yeah. So I sent her a swatch that I had, and one of the colors on the swatch was Graceland maybe, which is the gold glitter. Because I was doing a comparison swatch from something else and I sent it over to her. She was like, well, those are all really pretty. And she said they're all really pretty. And I said, I know. I said, just a heads up, Graceland is a glitter. And she was like, oh, that glitter scares me. I was like, I know. But my advice is apply it with something dense. We just don't want fallout on our face at 40 in the form of glitter chunks. Now, my daughter, when she does eyeshadow, which like she just started playing with makeup recently, she is still, do you guys remember? Do you guys ever have like any of the tubes that looked like this that had glitter in them? Or like the little tubs and you would like put the glitter underneath? That's what she's doing right now. I'm like, man, she's 10. So what we do when we're 10, because we want all the glitter, like we want everything to be glittery and pretty and reflective, right? Like just make it all shine is like the opposite of your life goals. Like life goals change in your 40s. You're like, I don't want anyone to see glitter on my face. I don't want to draw attention to anything, right? Anywho, that's it, my loves. This is our second recreate the look from last week since they both tied. Since the vote tied, I wanted to make sure we got them both. And I will take some pictures. If there are any colors from here that you want to create a palette with, you just let me know. I'm going to give in and put a little bit of Sunshine State on the lips. Over top of Dahlia. It's just, I like the combination. So there we go, you guys. Happy Wednesday. And hey, answer those questions about the lives. How many, like same time, tell me all the things. Even send me, if you love me enough to send me a DM and be like, hey, I'll watch a couple a week. I like them in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, whatever it is. I would totally appreciate that. If you guys need a custom color match, reach out, just say match me, and we'll make sure that you get the correct tones for your skin. It'll work with acne, it'll work with all the things, and it will still look natural and not like a heavy face makeup. Okay,